So I was going to kind of show you how to do the stained glass stuff, but of course I can never find anything. Half my life I spent looking for stuff, okay? Yeah, I can clean it up. Hey, but then I have no excuse to whine. So I'm going to show you with the clear stuff instead, okay? This is called crystal glass, but there's various types of this clear plasticky stuff, and what they use it for a lot is those plastic window clings. You see them at Christmas time, or holidays. People have these things stuck on their glass windows or their mirrors or something. You can make that yourself, and up here the dollar stores have it. I don't know if pound stores have it over in the UK, or what you have in your area, 5 and 10. Anyways, it's a tube type stuff like this, and you kind of draw on a pattern on a piece of plastic or glass, and then once it's dry you peel it off and you stick it on your window. Okay, I use the same stuff for doing stained glass work on my little dioramas and stuff. Okay, I'm going to show you up close here. This is a window that I've made. I'm going to use on a inn. Okay, it's kind of got various patterns to it. Yeah. Okay, there. Okay, and what that is a piece of that plastic hardware cloth with a couple of the squares cut out, and then on the back of it is glued a piece of that soffit, plastic soffit cloth. Gives me a nice, diamond shaped pattern in behind some wrought iron is what it's going to be. Okay, and what I do is pretty much just coat it with this plastic stuff. Now you can do the same effect by using white glue, that Weldbond glue. Don't have very good flow on here. And coating it with that works really good. Okay, so I'm basically putting on a bunch of it here just to show you. This is on the back side that I'm doing this, by the way, because I want the bars to show through. Now, see how that one, well, maybe you can't, not even looking at the camera, there we go. See how that one covered the hole for me, right off the top? Basically you want to put like a soap bubble film over top of the holes. Oh, I'm gonna have this stuff squirt all over the place here in a sec. What the heck is going on? Okay, maybe I got enough on here to show you anyways. I want to pause the camera here. Take it and take your blade over top, or your, in this case I'm using a piece of wood. Of course not. Let me fix my tube of glue stuff. Okay, I got this stuff all over the place. Should have enough of it sufficiently out here. Okay, so what I do is I put on a bunch, and as you can probably catch the gist of it already, you create a film over top of it, like that. Now, I don't know if you saw those other parts of mine. You may want to just let, in this case I'm having such trouble with it, I'm going to let those ones dry, and then I'm going to add more and do the other ones. And it doesn't really take a heck of a long time for it to dry. Overnight is better, of course, but in probably half an hour or so it may have set up enough that I can do the other windows. So I'll just set that down. I'll show you what it looks like here after it's set up a little bit. Can you see it on there? I've done the outside panels, and this has been about 20 minutes or so. There's one that's been set up overnight. You can see it dries perfectly clear. Now this is that crystal clear stuff. Weldbond glue will also dry perfectly clear. As it gets wet again, it'll go white, but once it dries off, it'll be clear after. So if you paint it and it goes milky white on you, don't freak out, because it'll dry clear again. So I've added a whole bunch more of this around that last pane, and I'm going to try wiping it and getting a film over top of it. Usually it's not this hard. I don't know what's going on today, but you can sometimes use a paintbrush too, and that'll, in fact, let's try one. I don't have one convenient. Oh well. I'm going to put on excess and pretend I'm a little kid and just making a big mess. Frustrated. As in most of my projects, they're not really good for little kids. Don't expect little Jimmy to be able to do it. I can't do it. Okay, anyways. That is the idea, and it will go on there, as you can see, because I did it on the other ones. For some reason it won't work on here, so like I said, try a paintbrush or a little piece of those foam brushes, or a little piece of foam, none of which I have convenient with me right now. So anyways, next time we go and work on this hobbit house that we're building, I will have that done, and I will do the brick. Here, I had such a heck of a time with the glass on here, I wanted to show you that I actually could do it. So let me put this up on here, something like this. This is the stuff I was using for that stained glass too, I was telling you about. I couldn't find it before. It's called liquid RainGlo. Basically, I got it at the dollar store, okay? And it comes in multitudes of colors, you know, clear. There's even a glow in the dark one. And because it's kind of an acrylic, you can mix it in with your other paints and stuff, so you can have it sort of like a glowing effect for, you know, something green or, you know, whatever. And or swamps. I use it in the water in the swamps, okay, so I can have it sort of a greenish blue tint to certain things. Anyways, so this is clear stuff here on the windows, okay, and now this is dried. Let's show you the other window here. It's kind of hard to see in here. Plus, then I'm looking across the room in this little tiny screen. Okay. Anyways, now I've got glass on the windows. Okay. And what else was I going to show you? That was it.